Is Christianity fundamentally compatible with capitalism, or are they contradictory at their core? This question has intrigued scholars and theologians for centuries. At the heart of Christianity, we find principles such as love, charity, and selflessness. These form the foundation of a faith that emphasizes the value of every human soul and the importance of sacrificial giving. On the flip side, we have capitalism, a system that champions individualism, profit motivation, and competition. It's a system that celebrates the pursuit of personal wealth and often thrives on the very competition that Christianity seems to discourage. At first glance, these two systems may seem at odds with each other, but as we delve deeper, we find a complex and intricate relationship between them. The threads of Christianity and capitalism are woven together in the tapestry of our societies in ways that are often surprising and far from straightforward. As we delve deeper, we'll uncover the historical evolution of capitalism within Christian societies. Historically, Christianity and capitalism have coexisted, but how did this relationship evolve? To understand this, let's take a step back in time, to the rise of capitalism in predominantly Christian societies. The 16th and 17th centuries were marked by significant socio-economic shifts, as traditional feudal societies in Europe began transitioning towards more market-oriented economies. This period, known as the Age of Discovery, was characterized by exploration, trade, and the accumulation of wealth, the bedrock of capitalism. Now, where does Christianity fit into this picture? Enter Max Weber, a German sociologist who in the early 20th century postulated a theory that has dramatically shaped our understanding of the relationship between Christianity and capitalism. Weber's theory, known as the Protestant ethic, argues that the religious ideas of the Protestant Reformation, particularly those of Calvinism, played a significant role in the rise of capitalism. According to Weber, Calvinism, a branch of Protestantism, emphasized the virtues of hard work, frugality, and discipline. These values, Weber theorized, were conducive to economic success in a capitalist society. Calvinists believed that worldly success was a sign of God's favor, thereby encouraging a strong work ethic and the accumulation of wealth. The Calvinist doctrine of predestination also played a role. This belief held that God had already determined who would achieve salvation. As a result, people sought to demonstrate their place among the elect through worldly success. This drive towards economic achievement, Weber argued, helped fuel the capitalist engine. But it's essential to remember that Weber's theory is just that, a theory. It's one interpretation of a complex historical phenomenon, and many scholars have challenged it over the years. While it offers a compelling narrative, it's not the only explanation for the relationship between Christianity and capitalism. Yet, this coexistence of Christianity and capitalism hasn't been without its criticisms. Despite their intertwined history, there are criticisms that suggest a fundamental conflict between Christian teachings and the capitalist ethos. Let's delve into those criticisms that bring to light an apparent discord. A major point of contention arises from capitalism's emphasis on materialism and wealth accumulation. Capitalism thrives on the pursuit of individual wealth, with its gears constantly turning to maximize profits. Competition, a cornerstone of the capitalist system, is often driven by a desire for material advancement. This emphasis on wealth can seem to directly contradict the Christian teachings of humility and the dangers of excessive wealth. Christianity, in its essence, encourages a life of simplicity, selflessness, and charity. It promotes the distribution of wealth among those less fortunate, fostering a sense of shared responsibility and community. In contrast, the capitalist ethos encourages individuals to amass wealth, often leading to stark socioeconomic disparities. One of the most potent criticisms comes from the Bible itself. The verse from the Gospel of Matthew, "It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of God," is often cited. This verse underscores the potential spiritual dangers of wealth accumulation, suggesting that an obsession with material prosperity could obstruct one's path to spiritual fulfillment. Such criticisms suggest that the capitalist ethos, with its focus on personal gain and material wealth, might lead individuals away from the Christian virtues of humility, charity, and love for one's neighbor. It raises the question, can one truly serve both God and mammon? While these criticisms highlight apparent contradictions, they don't necessarily imply an irreconcilable conflict. Many argue that these two systems can, in fact, coexist and that it's possible to navigate the capitalist world while maintaining one's Christian principles. However, there are also arguments suggesting a harmonious coexistence between Christianity and capitalism. These arguments posit that capitalism, when practiced ethically and with a spirit of stewardship, can align with Christian values, fostering societal progress and improving living standards. But that's a topic for the next scene. Some argue that Christianity and capitalism can coexist harmoniously. But how can modern Christians navigate this complex relationship? Indeed, there are compelling arguments that suggest a potential symbiosis between these two seemingly contrasting systems. Capitalism, when practiced ethically, can be a force for good. It can provide opportunities for individuals to grow, innovate, and improve their living standards. In this sense, capitalism can be seen as a tool for enabling self-fulfillment and prosperity, values that are not inherently contradictory to Christian teachings. Consider the parable of the talents in the Bible, where each servant is entrusted with different amounts and is expected to multiply them. This story can be interpreted as an endorsement of the capitalist virtue of industriousness and the wise use of resources. However, it's crucial to remember that capitalism, like any other system, is susceptible to misuse. The pursuit of wealth should never overshadow the Christian virtues of love, charity, and humility. Balancing these priorities is a challenge that modern Christians face in their daily lives. So how can Christians navigate the capitalist system while staying true to their spiritual values? One way might be to approach business with a sense of stewardship, viewing wealth not as an end in itself, but as a means to contribute positively to society. This could involve investing in ethical businesses, paying fair wages, and prioritizing sustainable practices. Another approach could be to integrate faith into commerce consciously. This might mean making business decisions that reflect Christian values such as honesty, integrity, and concern for the well-being of others. In essence, the goal should be to create a form of capitalism that is not only profitable, but also compassionate, one that upholds the dignity of every individual and cares for the common good. The relationship between Christianity and capitalism remains complex and multifaceted, inviting each one of us to reflect on our own values and actions within these systems. As we navigate this journey, let's remember that it's not about choosing one over the other, but finding a balance that allows us to live out our faith in a capitalist world without compromise.